thought I'd eat some lunch with you and talk a little bit. This was from, I finished up my part of my notes on January 31st on Paul Tudor Jones, and I wanted to get this up on video because I want to put it on some content that I'm putting together as we move forward. Just so you know where I'm going next, it's writing on February 3rd, the 10 Commandments of Discipline. You know, I definitely need that, right? So anyway, now this is from, last time we left off, it was the 30th or 31st, whenever I was talking last. And we did, as a recap, last video we talked about the money-making philosophy. Paul Tudor Jones, 5-to-1. His 3 key points, once again: 200-day MA on closed basis. Number 2, 5-to-1 reward to risk, or risk to reward, however you want to look at it. I always like to say 5-to-1 reward to risk as opposed to risk reward, because 5-to-1 otherwise would be 1-to-5, right? So 5-to-1 reward to risk. That's what I like to talk about it. And point 3, defense is 10 times more important. I do not have a live chat going today. I apologize. I'm on my iPad and I didn't set it up. So next video I do, I'll set up the live chat like we did last week. So I want to get this out. I had wrote this up. I want to finish up on Paul Tudor Jones and move on. I also want to talk a little bit about how I am going to approach the 5-to-1 on my spreadsheet that I work off of all the time. And then we're going to shift gears to Dr. Barry Burns on the next video a little bit. I've been a student of him for many, many years. Told you I'm eating lunch. Or a little bit of lunch. I've already eaten some, and I'm figuring I'm eating the rest of it. It is what it is. All right. This is from the interview that Tony Robbins did on, where's my book? Well, it's his money book. And I was able to, by the way, I was able to find this book at Half Price Books, 26 retail. I picked it up for like $10 yesterday. They had, I did a little discount on it. Unshakable. It's a shorter version of the money book. That's why I want to read it. I'm going to try to read it over the weekend. If not, get it done by a week and see how I can apply that to my trading as well and my future investing. Running out of time before I'm getting retired, huh? According to Nikki Haley, we got to work to 70 now. So if that's a true statement, I'll be 57 in March. That puts me 13 years away from 70. Of course, I want to work until I can't work for the most part. But hey, at least we have a target. 70 now. Nikki Haley says we have to work to 70. All right. So here we go. I'm going to read some of my notes that I wrote down here in my handy dandy journal number 33. And we're going to go through it. So I'm putting together, which will soon be, I think I'm going to use school, like I talked about, to add the content I'm putting together. And you know, and then I'm going to put my courses together for my edification, also for my kids, if they ever want to have documentation of how I go about trading, how I've been able to successfully do it when I was a younger boy. Let's wait on that. All right. All right, so here we go. Jones himself will tell you he's a trader, not a traditional investor. When Jones talks, people listen. Now, he worked for E.F. Hutton back in the day, so that's a little thing about E.F. Hutton. As a macro trader, he studies the impact of fundamentals, psychology, technical analysis, flow of funds, and world events and their impact on asset prices. So as a trader, as a day trader, we really can't concentrate on macro events. We can, but it's really hard. Fundamentals, man, you got to be a smart person if you understand fundamentals. Economic reports is the closest I get to fundamentals, by the way. Psychology, extremely important. So the 2 key components I think that we can, well, 3 key components would be world events, technical analysis, and psychology. All three of those combined can, and when you get the right mix of those, especially psychology, how to defend against losses and stuff like that, how to keep out of your own head type of stuff. That's where the power of trading is, right? He goes on to say, I very quickly learned the psychology of the bull market and the bear market and how quickly they could change. And he talks about Bunker Hunt, 400 million position in silver investment, go to 10 billion and then back down to 400 million. Can you imagine? 400 million going to 10 billion, billion with a B, and then taking it right back down to 400 million, not having the wherewithal to get out, at least get out half, half a position and take 5 billion. 5 billion is better than 400 million, right? Even 1 billion is better. Anyway, so long story short, we found ourselves in the same situation. We don't get out of a trade because we think it's going to the moon. It's going to the moon. Oh, by the way, Netflix has Dumb Money. If you have not watched that, it's a great video. I highly recommend to watch Dumb Money. Take an hour and a half out of your life and watch that. That was on GameStop, how they ran GameStop up. Oh gosh, I wish they could do it again. That'd be fun. Knock out some of these hedge fund traders. Because they call us dumb money, right? Key point. Well, the key point, the most important thing for me, this is Jones talking, is that defense is 10 times more important than offense. The wealth you have can be temporary. You have to be very focused on the downside at all times. So that was what I had wrote in red up here. Process risk control is the #1 single most important focus. Every day walking in, I want to know I'm not losing it. So the turtle wins the race, right? Diversification is key. Playing defense is key. And again, just staying in the game as long as you can. And he goes on to say, well, there's a time when to hold them and a time when to fold them. You're not going to necessarily always be in a situation to make a lot of money where the opportunities are great. So once again, his key point is 5-1, but a lot of those trades don't go to 5-1, especially as a day trader. Key point, another key point, Paul Tudor Jones talking. You don't need to go to business school. You only got to remember 2 things. The first is you always want to be with whatever the predominant trend is. And then he says 2 things, but the second thing's not listed right after that. It's 2 things, and he goes on a tangent. But the second of that is the 5-1. The second point to his, if you read through the book, 490, page 490 to 497, the second point is to the 5-1 philosophy. So he uses his 2 key points: the 200-day moving average on closing basis and the 5-1. Is that realistic to do the 200-day moving average? Well, Barry Burns will talk about it. The 50-day MA, if it's flat, you do not want to be in it, or be trading in a flat market. My metric for everything I look at is the 200-day moving average of closing prices. How do I keep from losing everything? If you use the 200-day MA rule, then you get out, you play defense, and you get out. Then he goes on to talk about this chart that's shown here in the book. It's a lot better drawn. You are here at the top of that circle. And that top of the circle, are you buying or are you selling? Now, if you're watching this, have your opinion before I tell you the answer he says. At that point right there, the market is going up. Are you buying or are you selling? So 60% of people buy, stay in, 40% sell, contrary. Paul Tudor Jones goes on to talk about the 40% that would sell that should never invest your own money in your entire life because you got the contrarian bug. But key point from Paul Tudor Jones, his 2 greatest wins of his career was 1987 Black Monday, contrarian at heart. The second event that happened was the subprime market in 2008 or 2009, whenever that happened. So his 2 biggest winning years, or winning sessions, if you think about it, were on contrarian events. The market was going up and it tanked. But his key point that he used was the 200-day moving average on closing prices. it gave him a key to be flat, and that flat to be flat. All right, so 5 to 1. 5 to 1 means I'm risking $1 to make 5. What 5 to 1 does is allow you to have a hit rate of 20%. I can actually be a complete imbecile. This is one principle for sure is to get out of anything that falls below the 200-day MA. Invest 9 contracts going at it. I have worked out on my spreadsheets. This going back to January 31st again when I did print it off. I'm obviously I have trying to get 5 to 1 as close as I can beat it. Are not going to go to 5 to 1, and this stupid thing keeps reconnecting. Okay, this would probably be my issue in selling insurance at a house right now. The stupid thing, even though it's locked on, maybe I should have it. It's supposed to be able to reconnect. All right. So we'll just wrap it up right. We'll be concentrating on some of Dr. Barry Burns' material, his 7 deadly sins. We'll keep doing this. All right. How to get 9 contracts closed. I know how I did it. If you set up at a 2R, you can go 2.5 to 1. But if you can move to a, I'm gonna get going because this thing keeps reconnecting. All right. We'll talk to you on the next video I put together. We'll go to my reconnect. All right. I'm out of here.